That's pretty good here, because even if he plays it and it gets countered, he can bring a bunch of guys back to his hand and keep going.
Well, so far,
Oh, he's also got Nissa in the sideboard.
We have-
Daniel Fournier's invitational card.
we have 2 votes in favor of Omar and only 1 for Tyler.
Ooh, okay. Exciting.
Statistically significant sample size.
I'm going to put my bet on Omar, just because I'm better friends with him, but Tyler's quite good too, so... Did somebody say Paul Dean in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sammy T,
I'm gonna
I
win.
think that's Sammy T.
Eager toe.
Yeah, he
Thanks.
hashtagged Sammy T earlier, but maybe he's just a fan of Sammy. I don't know.
Sammy's got a lot of fans.
Who won the die roll here? Looks like Tyler. And Omar is going to mulligan.
Yeah, so they're both
Oh,
mulliganing.
okay, so
Omar must
Omar.
have won the dice roll since he mulliganed first.
Okay.
So both players going down to 6.
Make sure you speak right into the mic.
We got these lights here, so we can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Also, if anyone finds that I speak too quietly or Glenn does, just let us know in the chat, and then we'll fix that up.
It's not Sammy.
Let the viewers know if they can get more viewers for us. The players here get an additional box in the top 16 drives.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What threshold do we need to beat?
100 at any time during the Swiss by the end of Swiss.
Okay.
Okay. So Noah's just told us that if we get up to over 100 viewers at any time during the Swiss, the players in the top 16 are going to get an extra box. So I think he means 9th through 16th each get a box.
So yeah, so if you want to help out the event, the local Magic community, and your friends playing in the event, feel free to share the Twitch stream link on social media, or tell your friends directly to watch it.
Yep.
You can also come out and play the modern side event still. That doesn't start until 3.
Yeah.
And we will be covering some of that later on.
Looks like Tyler here has some slippery fingers. He's about to Trevor Humphreys it up. No, it looks like he had dropped a card, and he wanted to make sure that he didn't see it. Who's the one with face-to-face sleeves? That's Omar's deck, right?
I think that is not Omar's deck. I'm pretty sure Tyler's pile shuffling Omar's deck right now.
So I guess Tyler's just making sure that he didn't drop like another card by accident, or trying to get an easy game win.
He's just trying to entertain us.
Yeah. The Jared Betcher special.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I saw multiple players using Jared Betcher's player token or player card as a germ token at GP New Jersey, which I think is
Dan
apt.
Lantier in particular.
Yeah.
Dan Lantier had a. Is he on the stream? I told him I'd let him know I was going to talk about him. I won't talk about him yet. I'll wait till he's looking.
It's not really a contest. We're gonna add an extra box to the top 8 prize pool for the main event if we get 100 viewers or more at any point during the Swiss today on Twitch. So if you guys want to help out your friends who are playing in the event, feel free to share the link to Twitch.
Alright, so we got Omar starting out with Opulent Palace and Tyler tanking on turn 1. So I guess he's deciding between a tap land or a Thoughtseize. Looks like he's going to Thoughtseize Omar here. Maybe hit a Caryatid and Mana Screw him or something like that.
Find out what he's playing against so he can plan out his turns too.
Yeah. Oh, Despise. Oh, so I guess he was thinking that he doesn't...
Whip, Murderous Cut, and 2 lands.
Yeah, Whip, Murderous Cut. What is that? Is that Evolving Wilds? Is that in the format? What is this card?
I'm not sure. This is
Oh yeah, it's Evolving Wilds.
pretty bad news for Omar because now the jig is up on what he's playing, and Tyler can just make sure that he doesn't let that whip resolve.
Yeah.
Omar doesn't have the pressure to force him to tap mana.
Yeah. Whip is definitely Omar's best card here against Tyler, because Tyler can't remove it.
But I guess Omar is drawing to one of his 3 Thoughtseizes ideally.
Yeah. He could also try to draw into things like Corsair and Sidisi so that he has threats he can put out that Tyler has to deal with
Yeah.
and can't ignore. And that'll give him an opening to resolve his whip.
And it's not like he's super under the gun either, because his late game's pretty good, and he's got dig through times as well.
Yeah. Maybe he could set up an end of turn dig through time, untap and cast whip.
But
That would be a good play.
Prognostic Sphinx from Tyler is going to put more pressure on Omar to act than he normally would be under.
Right. Yeah, Tyler's playing the 4 main deck Prognostic Sphinx rather than something like Andy Van Leeuwen's deck, which is only playing 1 Prolic Ancient. So Tyler can actually put on a lot of pressure.
But Omar, if Omar knows that he's on that, then he's got to really slow roll that whip, because if he taps out for it, lets Tyler counter, then he can respond by just slamming a Sphinx on the table. Okay.
So another Despise gets a Doomwake Giants. So now Omar, if I were Omar, I think I would untap and just slam this whip, because Tyler doesn't have Dissolve up. Now, we know by looking at Tyler's deck list that he's got actually 4 Disdainful Stroke, so that's pretty good here. He could be holding that up in order to counter the whip.
I would be
but-
pretty skeptical in Omar's seat there. After, like, I think, like, if the blue-black player doesn't have a counterspell there, they're bluffing rather than playing Despise, if they're any good.
Maybe, but I think he's got no better option. Like, this is going to be his best opportunity. He
I
can't
suppose
just sit
so.
around forever. Like, later on in the game, Tyler's going to have, like, 6 mana or so.
He is in very bad shape, regardless.
So it looks like he's going to get Disdainful Stroked, but I would have done the same thing if I was Omar. So that sucks for Omar because his hand is just, I think, a Murderous Cut and a card that we don't know. And that Murderous Cut is going to be very bad here because Tyler's only got Prognostic Sphinx, which is going to obviously dodge Murderous Cut. Poor Omar. Not lucky all the time. Only against me, I guess.
Actually, I watched him win the PTQ that sent him to the most recent Pro Tour, and he played so well in that top 8.
Yeah, I agree. So that's a little interesting story. Glenn, Omar, and I think Fournier was there as well.
Yeah.
We went to this PTQ in like Ohio or something like that, and Omar was in top 8 with he was playing Blue Red Twin, and in the top 8 match he played awful, but he still won.
Yeah,
And
in the first round of the top 8, it was
yeah,
it was so
top
bad.
4 he made a lot of, I would say, very creative plays.
Yeah.
That ended up winning the game anyways, but not how we would have played it. But then in the he played in the finals against a green-black kind of mid-range deck, and he just turned all the way on. He really played very well, the best I've ever seen him play.
Yeah,
and he destroyed his opponent.
Typically, that matchup is thought to be unfavorable for Twin, but he made it look like
Yeah, easy peasy.
yeah, that ambush vipers.
Yeah, he was playing like Snapcaster Mage as Ambush Viper, and he was playing Pestermite to like. I think there was one point he played a Pestermite main phase to tap the guy's Tarmogoyf and attack with the Snapcaster, just to get a little bit of extra damage. It was like, wow, I wouldn't have played that way, but it turned out to really put the guy under pressure and send Omar to the Pro Tour.
Yeah, Omar and I tested
Well deserved.
Twin together a lot that season, and the consensus we came to was against the Jundi type decks, just kill them. Do whatever you
Like,
can
stay
to just kill
aggressive?
them. Yeah. And if that doesn't work, then Karanos them. So Omar's at least getting on the board here.
Yeah, I'd still say that things are looking very good for Tyler. He's resolved the dig through time, and he's under basically no pressure. He's also countered the whip that was in Omar's hand. One saving grace for Omar is that he's got Soul Innistrad in his graveyard, so that's going to be good. He's going to be able to return a Doomwake Giant, a Hornet Queen, and something else to his hand. And those are all threats that will kill Tyler just on their own, so Tyler's got to deal with all of them.
Yeah, I mean that like kind of trades for dig through time. Tyler's
Yeah.
going to find, 2 counter spells or a counter spell and removal or maybe a threat.
Yeah. If I were in this match, I'd hope to be on Tyler's side, but Omar's not out of the game yet, I would say.
Yeah. It's hard to tell what Tyler's thinking about taking there. Can't really see.
I think Tyler's probably debating between, which removal, because he's got several different kinds of removal, like Drown and Sorrow, Bowblight, and stuff like that.
It looks like he might have been thinking about. Oh, he didn't take the downfall or the dig through time that were on the top of the pile of cards there. So I'm not sure what he did take instead.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't really have a hand cam or anything, but it makes it all the more exciting. Looks like Tyler's got Drown in Sorrow. I did see that. Oh, so Tyler missed a land drop, so he's got a bunch of spells, which is actually pretty good here. I think he doesn't really need to hit his 7th land drop yet, or anything like that.
No.
He just wants to trade 1-for-1 for everything and make sure that a whip doesn't resolve.
Yeah,
It's
it
definitely his big game plan.
seems
Don't-
like if
Ooh.
he can prevent whip from resolving, he's in good shape.
So Omar's casting a Sidisi.
Almost
which
certainly
is
getting countered.
Almost certainly getting countered.
Looks like he's got to dissolve.
Yeah. There we go. I think that's probably fine with Omar. He's just trying to run things into Tyler's counterspells as a hope to resolve a whip eventually. But I'm skeptical that that's going to happen. He's got to draw enough threatening things and then draw a whip.
If I'm sitting in Omar's seat here, I'm actually kind of sad to see Tyler not making land drops at this point.
I agree. Because that means he's got infinite spells.
Yeah.
Hi, Andrew Ian. That might be very late.
Somewhat. Somewhat
He's
late.
gone.
I think when I typed it was very late. But thank you to everyone who's watching right now. We're hoping to make this, I mean, not necessarily Paul and myself, but we're hoping to have live commentary be a regular thing at Toronto events.
Alright, so here we've got Omar returning Sidisi, Satyr Wayfinder, and a Horniqueen to his hand. I'm surprised he didn't bring back the Doomlake Giant instead of that Wayfinder. But maybe he knows the Doomlake Giant just dies to a removal and doesn't get any actual value.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, like at least with Wayfinder, if Tyler doesn't counter it, he gets something out of it. It's kind of innocuous in that you don't want to waste a counter spell on it, but you still get something out of it. Whereas Doomlake Giant, you don't have to counter it. You can just downfall it later.
And also, once he has 2 Wayfinders in play, like he's got kind of a board.
Yeah.
Starts swinging for 2 every turn.
So here we've got Courser coming down for Omar. So Omar's still got Sidisi, Horniqueen, and Wayfinder in his hand.
Okay, and he
So Omar's doing pretty good here, actually.
finds a land off the courser. That's pretty good.
Yep. Thoughtseize on top. That's also very good. So next turn he can Thoughtseize in his Sidisi. Okay. Okay. Things are looking up. Tyler downfalls that Courser. He's kind of got to do it. He can't let the Courser sit and play forever. I think Tyler's probably at a point where he's really hoping to hit his next land drop so he can cast a Prognostic Sphinx and actually, you know, start to put pressure on Omar, because Omar's just sitting back casting things, but not under pressure of the game actually ending anytime soon.
Yeah, if Tyler doesn't put pressure on him, like Omar could very easily grind him out of the game.
Yeah. Like eventually Tyler will run out of counter spells, and then things like Sidisi will resolve, get a zombie or two.
Or Omar will draw the whip after the counters have been exhausted and just take over the game.
Right. So here we got
Another
Tyler
dig.
resolving another dig through time. So what do you think he'll take? Probably a land and a counter spell?
Yeah, probably. Or maybe another dig through time or Jace's Ingenuity. Although I don't think he has time to cast Jace's Ingenuity right now.
Yeah. Omar's going to be playing something basically every turn, and we know he's getting Thoughtseize. Tyler is getting Thoughtseize the next turn too. It's kind of interesting.
Looks like he's got a downfall there. I don't know if that's what he wants, though.
Yeah, so cards he's deciding between Downfall and I didn't see what he took there.
Might have been a land. It's pretty awkward to be digging for lands, though.
Yeah, of course. But that's what he needs.
Yeah.
It is kind of awkward if you waste one of your dig through time choices on a land and then you draw like 2 more lands the next turn, so you almost waste a spell.
Because if you take a land off dig through time, it's like basically just a divination,
Yeah.
which isn't the end of the world. But
So he's
he
also
took Jace's Ingenuity.
Jace's Ingenuity.
So then he must have taken. Yeah. Okay. Swamp.
Oh, that was main phase. Okay. He's probably holding up Disdainful Stroke. So Omar's gonna Thoughtseize him here. Hopefully, see just one disdainful stroke. Okay, what do we got here? We got Prognostic Sphinx, Jason's Ingenuity, Tyrannosaurus Boblight. What's that other card? Is that another Prognostic Sphinx?
Yeah, double Sphinx.
Okay,
like.
so if he casts Sidisi here, he actually can't stop it. Ooh, this is interesting. So I think I would take the Boblight, cast Sidisi. It's gonna resolve.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I guess Tyler's going to untap and cast Prognostic Sphinx, which kind of stops Sidisi, but that's going to be getting quite a bit of value. So this is looking good for Omar. How lucky. Oh, okay, how unlucky. So Omar didn't hit any creatures to get zombies in play. When else does Sidisi trigger? When you attack?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so Omar, I guess, can untap, Murderous Cut the Prognostic Sphinx. Oh, he didn't cast the Prognostic Sphinx. He wants to Jace his Ingenuity. That's interesting.
Can't really fault him for that.
I don't know. I think I would have cast a Prognostic Sphinx because now Sidisi gets a free attack. Unless he has a removal. Omar's
goes
still not hitting lands.
Second whip.
Let's see, what else Omar got? So he's just, I guess Omar is trying not to lock into any counter spells, so he's just casting pretty innocuous things. Oh, does Sidisi trigger right now?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Twice, because he hit Doomwake as well.
Nice. So is that 2 zombies? Looks like he only put 1 in play there.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to get 2 off of that.
Maybe it's 2, but they're like stacked on top of each other and we can't really see it. So it looks like Omar is quite ahead here now.
If you're Tyler, what are you looking for here? You only have a maximum of 6 mana this turn.
Yeah, well, we know Tyler doesn't have Perilous Vaults. The best thing he has is Silence of Believers in terms of turning around a board state like this.
So I guess his best play is Drown in Hero's Downfall?
Yeah, I think so.
Because if he just kills Sidisi, he's still looking at 6 power on board, assuming that Omar does have 2 zombies.
Yeah, but I think we know he has Drown in Sorrow in hand.
Yeah.
Drown in Sorrow, Dissolve, I also saw. So Tyler needs to clear this board.
It's unfortunate that that's a Scry land instead of something that comes into play untapped.
Yeah. Because now Tyler doesn't have 4 black mana, so he couldn't do something like Drown in Sorrow and then Bile Blight.
Thank you.
Alright, thanks.
He's at such a low life total, though, that if he just kills Sidisi, he goes to 2.
Yeah. So, pretty tough spot for Tyler, but not quite over.
He only gets 1. Oh, I guess the DC only triggers once because the creature condition was met. I don't know the exact wording of the card. I'm going to look up the wording on CDC.
Yeah, let's see exactly what Sidisi says.
Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put a zombie into play. Okay,
Okay, so if he flips 3 creatures, he only gets 1 zombie.
Time and registrations have already begun. If you're interested in joining, please go for the registration.
So Tyler kills the Sidisi. Now he's facing down 4 power of guys.
Is Hermit Druid banned in EDH? Do you follow the EDH ban list? I'm just thinking,
I don't know.
because if it wasn't worded that way, then Hermit Druid would be really overpowered with that card.
Okay.
That card's banned in Legacy, you know.
Hermit Druid? Oh, I know that. But you don't play it with Sidisi. You
No.
do much better things. Alright, so Omar's in a weird spot here because Genosar is going to be very good against him. Oh, he just plays another carry too. We know he has... Does he have Hornet Queen in hand, or did it get Thoughtseized? I think it got Thoughtseized. So, do you know what is in Omar's hand?
I do not.
I think he's just got Murderous Cut and then cards we don't know.
He's probably got a land in there.
Alright, so Omar gets Drown in Sorrow here.
Looks like Omar's got a land in his hand. I don't know what the third card is.
So So now Tyler gets to hold up Dissolve, which is quite good. So Tyler played these turns quite well. So now he's almost stabilized.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter that he's at 4 life against Omar's deck, because Omar doesn't really have a way to poke through.
Right, it's not like he has Crater's Claw or something like that. So Omar casting a Hornet Queen here, but we know that is not going to resolve. Or maybe it will if he has a Drowning Sorrow. Either way, it's not going to attack him.
Yeah. Yeah, it resolves.
Yeah, so he must have another Drowning Sorrow. I think he just drew another Drowning Sorrow too. Or maybe that was a Thoughtseize.
Yeah, Thoughtseize.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if he plays the Thoughtseize here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's at 4, so Thoughtseize is pretty costly. And he's probably got enough in his hand to deal with basically anything that Omar has too.
He also knows about Murderous Cut and can infer that there's a good chance Omar has a land in his hand at this point.
Yeah. So Sidisi gets dissolved, looking bleak for Omar. Now I think Tyler can cast a threat, i.e. Prognostic Strings, and hold up some interactive spell.
When your control opponent stabilizes and then dissolves and keeps the card on top, it does not feel good.
Oh yeah. Flooded Strand. Is that a Flooded Strand?
It is, yeah. I guess. That's
So
what
I
it
guess
looks
this
like.
is just like dig through time fuel. Okay. I like it. Yeah, he's playing 4 Polluted Delta and 2 Flooded Strand. No Bloodstained Mire.
Speaking of which, he's resolving his 3rd dig through time of the game.
Yeah. Sucks sitting in Omar's position because he knows he can't concede, but he knows he's probably dead. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Would you say that feeling is bad or awful?
I would say that it's awful.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
It's
Would you say that that's part of the fun part of playing Magic? Is knowing you're going to win, but your opponent can't concede yet?
I don't know. At this point, I'd start getting a little bit anxious about drawing, because both of these decks are very slow.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, I do love the feeling of having like a Jace Mind Sculptor in play and like 3 counterspells, and your opponent has nothing, and you know that you can't lose, but you're gonna get to win for like 25 minutes. Like rather than an aggro deck where you win in an instant, like you win in an attack phase, you get to win for the whole 25 minutes.
See, I like kind of just being really far behind and then dealing my opponent infinite damage.
With burn spells?
I was thinking like Splinter Twin combo.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. But burn spells too.
I thought we were still talking about the Mongoose deck.
Oh, no,
Where
no.
you just chain lightning though.
No, that deck is a combo deck. You get them to 9, and then you burn them 3 times.
Yeah. So Omar conceded pretty early. He knows he's dead. Like Tyler resolved dig through times. He knows a Prognostic Sphinx is eventually going to come, and Omar's just not going to win. So to save time, he just conceded. So let's look at sideboard. You look at Tyler's and tell us what you think he'd board.
Sure.
I'm looking at Omar's deck. He's got Nissa's, a Thoughtseize. He's got Sultai Charm. I think that's not good here. He's got Reclamation Stage, which he might board in case of Perilous Vault, even though Tyler doesn't actually have that, but Omar doesn't know that. He's got Disdainful Stroke. Although that may not be good because none of Tyler's important cards cost 4 or above.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you don't
true.
want to be countering the threat on turn 11. You want to be make sure that your threat's resolved.
I don't think that Omar wants to be playing counter spells against him. I
Yeah,
could be wrong.
I think he'll just be bringing in Nissa, Thoughtseize, Reclamation Stage, and Read the Bones, and he's got a 4th Whip. So those are all very good.
Looks like Tyler's got negates. I don't think that he wants those, but he's got them. Thoughtseize likely comes in. He's got more Drowning Sorrows, but I don't know if he wants more of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. You probably just want like about 2, because those can be dead very fast if your opponent just has like Sidisi and Choristers and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's definitely bringing in Silence the Believers. I wouldn't be surprised to see Murderous Cut, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he leaves that in his board. Tyler's sideboard's really not tailored to. Like, I think that he's already pretty good against mid-range decks with his main deck, so I don't think he's going to be changing up too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you think Omar's going to take out? Maybe Coursers? Probably not. I'm not sure what Tyler Omar would actually take out, other than like 3 Downfall, 3 Murderous Cut.
Well, how many cards is he bringing in here?
He's bringing in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get, yeah, okay, I guess just Downfalls, Murderous Cuts, and one more card. Maybe Doomwake Giant, because that doesn't really kill anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's just a 4/6 for 5, and that's it. So probably those. Maybe he'll leave in 1 Downfall.
And what is Tyler taking out? A lot of his cards are pretty strong in this matchup. Like, he could take out some of the worst spot removal or disdainful strokes, but he needs counterspells for whip, and he's got to be expecting some number of planeswalkers post-board.
Yeah, Tyler's in a tough spot because he needs to stop whip at all costs. However, he doesn't want to have too many cards that are overloaded on just stopping whip, like disdainful stroke or stuff, because then he could just lose to, coursers and little crappy beatdown guys.
Yeah.
So he also wants to keep the Drown in Sorrows, but those get dead too, so Tyler's in an awkward position where he doesn't know exactly how much of each he needs.
But also not in the worst position because his main deck's already, pretty decent.
Yeah. I think these games should be interesting.
Yeah.
Better than the first match.
Yeah, I mean, the first match was unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is with Andy Van Leeuwen's deck. He either gets crushed anticlimactically or he takes 25 minutes and wins in a very decisive fashion.
Yeah. He would probably be shocked to see this deck list that has a grand total of 5 win conditions that Tyler's playing.
Yeah, that is 4 too many.
Yeah. I would really love to watch Andy resolve a Fated Return at some point in this tournament, though.
That'd be cool. Hopefully we'll get to see him on camera again. Although starting in the 0-1 bracket doesn't bode well for that.
No.
Still think Omar's favored?
I don't know. I mean, he's certainly not favored to win the match starting down a game. I'm not sure which deck wins more often in this matchup, though.
I don't know. There's so much more blue-black here than I thought there would be. I
Yeah.
didn't think this deck was all that good. Not that I thought it was horrendous, but I thought it was certainly not what I would play. I would play Abzan. I think that deck's just the best. Not even close. But so far, both our feature matches have had blue-black control.
I mean, blue decks
Jesse Bolton, who came into the booth, was also playing blue-black control.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of it here today.
Blue decks are always overrepresented in Toronto's metagame, though, I find.
Yeah.
Toronto players just like blue. We like our islands.
Yeah, I honestly think it's because of what I was saying about how winning for 25 minutes, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you play mono red, you only get to win for like 2 seconds. But if you play blue-black control, you can win all day.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was more fun with Sphinx's Revelation, personally, but
Yeah. That's the ultimate win for a long time card.
you let your opponent get so close, and then and you gain a bunch of life and draw a new hand.
Yeah, so close. Yet so far. Alright, here we go. We got these guys drawing their hands for game 2. Looks like Omar keeps 7. I can see a dig through time in his hand. That's about it.
Dig through time and a bunch of glare. Temple of Mystery.
Yeah, a bunch of glare of heresy, would you say?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Omar had a tap land, but he didn't play a turn 1. A scry land, I mean. Guess he wants more information about what he's going to draw before deciding. Oh, okay. Wants to thought seize and then scry.
Maybe he sequenced it that way because he was planning on thought seizing the next turn anyway.
Could be. Sometimes scrying on like turn 1 is not that good because you don't yet know. Like, let's say you scry turn 1 and you have 2 lands in your hand and you see a land.
Yeah.
Do you keep that?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas the next turn, if you've drawn a land, so now you have 3 lands in hand and 1 in play, and then you scry, you know you don't need to keep that land. So scrying only gets better as the turns progress. So that's why Omar, I think, didn't want to play the scry line on turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, if because you have so little information you're keeping, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. You don't get as much value from Scry if you're not sure if you need the land or not, and you take it.
He also now gets to see Tyler's hand, see what he needs to play around. So, like, let's say Tyler had like 2 Drown and Sorrows in hand, and then Omar sees a Hornet Queen. He knows he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
So he's getting extra value out of the Scry. So we see Tyler's got Thoughtseize, Prognostic Sphinx, Silence the Believers. What's that other black card?
I'm not sure.
And then he had Dig Through Time and a Dissolve. What was that black card? Anyway. Did Omar keep the card on top? I was looking at the deck list.
I just looked down at the Twitch stream.
Okay.
We're not doing a very good service to
Yeah,
you
whatever.
guys right now.
That's what the video's for.
Yeah, true.
So Omar starting off with Courser, making Tyler react. Omar doesn't get full value because he already played his 3rd land. But if Tyler does decide to tap out in order to kill the Courser, then Omar can resolve a 4-mana spell. So Omar knows that he can't really get punished for playing the Courser right away. He might also be able to play his Satyr Wayfinder here and then get an extra shot at having a land on top of his deck. But I'm not sure if he has Wayfinder or not.
Looks like he does.
Looks like he does. So if Tyler wants to kill that Courser, he should do so now. Because after this Wayfinder and the trigger resolve, Omar might see a land on top, and then Tyler can't stop him from getting that free card.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that he will do that now that he sees he doesn't need to use his Dissolve this turn.
Yeah, because now he can't get 4-mana spell punished.
Okay.
Oh, it's just dissolving the Wayfinder.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, that seems aggressive because Omar is trying to pave the way to his big spells, like the Nissa that he's got in his hand, or that Sidisi on top. Now Omar gets to keep that Sidisi on top, which I think is actually very good for him.
I mean, I guess
I
maybe
would
he
not have dissolved that.
maybe he was trying to make a tempo play, thinking that Omar needs the land. He must have misread that.
Well, he had the Opulent Palace on top, though. So
Oh, yeah, true.
Tyler knew that he had that.
So I don't understand.
So I think that was a creative play by Tyler.
Yes, that was very creative.
Our opinion only, of course. Alright, so Sidisi. So this is something that Tyler definitely wants to stop because he knows for sure that Omar's going to get a zombie.
We have a judge call here. Probably.
So I couldn't exactly hear what Tyler is asking the judge. My theory is that does he get a chance to kill the Courser before that land on top can be played? Like maybe the Sidisi trigger goes on stack. He can see deck and then decide whether he wants to kill the Courser. Or does he have to kill the Courser like right now? That's my theory.
Or he might have been asking if he gets zombies, if he kills it with the trigger on the stack, which is also a no.
Oh. Alright. I guess that makes even more sense. So yeah, I guess he killed it before Omar could get zombies. Oh, he did bring in Sultai Charm. I guess...
If that ability had been worded differently, he would get zombies from it.
Yeah. So I guess the Sultai Charm can kill Perilous Vault, which we know Tyler doesn't have, but Omar doesn't know that. Or at worst, it can just loot, which is actually pretty good because these games are going to go long. So Omar's going to have excess lands in his hand at some point, and then so it's drawing 2 real cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So Omar in his hand has got Sultai Charm, Nissa. Do we know the other cards? I think he has a Sidisi. Oh no, he's got Dig Through Time, Nissa, Sultai Charm, and...
The second Sidisi got milled by the first Sidisi.
Yeah, I recall.
I guess Sultai Charm is just a better read the bones out of the sideboard in this deck, like basically.
Maybe.
It was more versatile. I shouldn't say better.
Read the Bones is quite good.
Read the Bones
Especially
is very
Courser,
good.
because you can often see a shitty, crappy card on top.
I really like versatile sideboard cards. So like
Yeah.
you're getting more mileage out of your sideboard, even though it's less powerful at that one function.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. I changed my mind on Assault Charm. I like it.
It's certainly not just better, but it's a nice sideboard card.
I still think Read the Bones is slightly better, but Assault Charm is maybe better than I thought it was before. So maybe that's what he did. Maybe he cut like extra, what's it called? Doomwake Giants in order to fit the Assault Charms. I still think he would have brought the Read the Bones in.
I also like Needle more than Null Rod.
Yes, well, you're bad.
Yeah.
Because Null Rod is just better than Bidding Needle.
Just better.
Yeah, strictly better, I would say.
Strictly better.
All right, so here we got an end step dig through time. That's kind of awkward for Tyler because he can counter that, but then Omar can untap and cast something very good, like a Nissa. Nissa's like unbeatable for Tyler.
Yes, that is an awkward play for Tyler to deal with.
Yeah, because Tyler has 5 mana, not 6, so he can't like double dissolve. So maybe he has Disdainful Stroke plus
Oh,
dissolve.
he's got Negate. He did board in Negate.
Oh, he did board it in negate. Okay, I like it. Makes sense because 2 of Omar's best cards, Dig Through Time and Whip, are both negatable.
Plus, there's a good chance Omar brings in Planeswalkers.
Yep, yep. Nissa is extremely good against Tyler. So now Omar can see this mana confluence on top. So I think between either this turn or on his next upkeep, he's going to want to... Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I was thinking you could Sultai Charm, but that doesn't make that much sense.
Well, the Whip resolves. That's good news.
Yeah, Whip resolves.
Omar.
Okay, Tyler's looking at the stream saying something, but I don't know what. I'll have to assume that he just looked up and said, I am bad.
It's possible. Or maybe he said, check out my baby pictures.
He might have said, come to my house, ask my mom to see my baby pictures. We'll find out later. If he wins, we'll get to interview him.
Oh, there are only 12 minutes left in the round. These guys probably have a bit of a time extension, but not that much.
Why the time extension?
They might not even have a time extension.
Oh,
Often,
yeah.
often you get a couple minutes because it takes you more time to set up at the feature match area.
Yeah, maybe.
But they might not even.
Alright, well. Tyler untapping after resolving Dig Through Time, so this could be a big turn for Tyler. Or at least it needs to be, but
Tyler actually has no way to remove that whip,
yeah, he has
though, right?
literally 0 ways to kill the whip, so...
But Omar doesn't have much of a graveyard to work with.
Well, he's got Sidisi, I mean...
He can whip the Sidisi, which is that'll get him going.
Yeah, and then the Sidisi will get more guys, plus maybe a zombie.
So Tyler gets a little aggressive here.
Prognostic Sphinx. Now Omar can actually resolve his Nissa. And Nissa doesn't die on the swing back from Prognostic Sphinx, so if I were Omar, I'd be slamming this Nissa,
like
animating
that's
the
what he's gonna
Mana
do.
Confluence. Don't tell me he's going to tap the Mana Confluence. Oh my god. Ah, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
Literally hurts.
Oh my god. I hate seeing Nissa get cast. It just... I love it, but I hate it. It brings back a lot of bad memories, you know? I recently got Nissa in the final of the WMCQ by Fournier. It's not one of my proud moments. Would you say Fournier is lucky or the luckiest in general?
I think he's probably the luckiest.
Yeah, I would think so too. Someone with his skill level being on the France team must be very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you agree.
100%, yeah.
Omar is also very lucky because he doesn't even cast Nissa right. So Tyler has to Hero's Downfall to Nissa because he knows he can't kill it with Prognostic Sphinx.
Why do you think that he made that play? Like, what incentive does he have to keep the Confluence around for mana? Isn't his mana base providing everything that he needs right now?
Yeah, it's interesting. I would say that Omar was very creative
Yeah.
in keeping the Mana Confluence rather than the Llanowar Waste.
Seems like an extremely conservative choice where his
Yeah.
mana options are
Conservative and creative, and given that Omar is my friend, I would even venture to say it's just plain bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might just be.
Yeah,
be bad.
he might just be the worst player I know.
Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, no. I think Omar is good, but not as good as me. That's all I'm trying to say. So Omar's taking on his own turn. I think he's deciding whether he wants to cast something or if he wants to whip. Because casting something walks into a dissolve that Tyler may have.
He does
but-
have a Thoughtseize if he wants to resolve something.
Right, but he might not have enough mana to know exactly what he wants to do.
Well, it looks like he's casting. Oh, Charm.
That's interesting. So he wants to be able to mill the Sidisi and attack with it. So he's choosing to target the Prognostic Sphinx with Sultai Charm to make it tapped. I'm not sure I like that, actually. Does Omar have another untapped land? Because he's not going to be able to whip and attack with the Llanowar Wastes.
He must have another land in hand if he's making
Well, I mean,
this
he's got
play.
the forest on top, but I thought he already played land.
Oh,
Yeah, this is kind of odd.
interesting.
Did Omar tap his mana wrong, too? I don't think he would have had to take a damage off that Llanowar Waste if he tapped the Temple of Mystery instead of the Swamp. Just another example of poor play.
I think that he's kind of in a hurry because he realizes that this match is going to go to time.
Yeah, that may be. So Omar, pretty talented here, manages to flip 2 different creatures to Sidisi, so he got 2 zombies out of that. So that's quite good. Tyler's under a lot of pressure here.
That is to say, on each of the separate triggers.
Yeah, 1 when it came back and 1 when it attacked. So that's 2 zombies.
Yeah. So Tyler's looking pretty dead here if he doesn't have. Although he has Drown in Sorrow in hand, I think.
So I guess Tyler just
Okay,
wants to
scoops.
Thoughtseize him, maybe get some information, see something interesting boarded in. So Omar takes that game pretty decisively.
Welcome to the stream, Matt Mealing. It's nice to see you.
I'm Matt Mealing. Matt Mealing doesn't like me very much.
Was that so?
Yeah, that is the case. So I have a story.
Okay, let's hear it.
So recently at the Face-to-Face Invitational, we were in top 8, and we didn't want to split. Mealing didn't either. Then it became top 4, and it was me, Andy, Mealing, and someone else I'm forgetting. Mealing again offered if I wanted to split, and I was like, no. So then I end up playing against Mealing, crushing him decisively through skill. And then he didn't get in on the prize split that me and Andy had the next round. So because of that, Mealing is not my biggest fan.
I would like to hear Mealing's side of this story.
Well, there is no other side of the story because I'm the one on the stream. And Mealing's not here to refute that.
That is how media works, yes.
If I could give Mealing's side, it may have been, you may call it scummy that I didn't want to split with my friends, especially considering Mealing lent me cards that tournament.
Oh, man.
He lent me 2 Doom Blasts, which were the bomb the whole tournament. Definitely got me to top 4.
2 of them.
Yeah, in the sideboard.
Wow.
So I showed up, took Andy Van Leeuwen's deck. I just ripped it off the internet because I hadn't played Standard before.
Yeah.
So I had 1 main deck End Hostilities, 2 sideboard End Hostilities. I really didn't like that card. And Mealing told me, End Hostilities is not very good. You should play Doom Blast, and it was the bomb. So I definitely have to thank Mealing for splitting the finals of that tournament. Sorry, Mealing. I'm scum. All right, here we go. We got game 3 going on. Tyler on the play.
Yeah, sorry about the mustache, guys.
Yeah.
And hello to Scotty Mac. So yeah, the players only have a few minutes to finish this match, and they're both playing very slow decks.
Do you know exactly how much time left?
I do not. It was 12 minutes, what felt like about 10 minutes ago.
Hey, Ryan, how much time is left in the round? Alright, he's not listening to me. Well, safe to say they don't have too much. But I think they do probably have at least 5 or 10 minutes, so it's not that they can't finish a game. So Omar coming out with Courser gets dissolved, which I think suits him fine because he's probably got better spells in hand like Nissa. Whereas Courser is slightly low impact. I mean, you can't let Courser last forever, but it doesn't put a lot of damage pressure on your opponent.
Gotta believe that Ryan's gonna either counter or play a removal spell and then slam a Sphinx here to try and finish the match on time.
You mean Tyler?
Or Tyler, yes.
Yeah. Confusing him with his brother Ryan, who's the head judge here today.
Yes, he's standing behind us right now.
Yeah. This is good for Omar. So next turn he's going to be able to Thoughtseize and cast bomb spell like Whip. We know he's got Whip in hand. Oh, he's going to Wayfinder and get rid of that Thoughtseize. Okay, I don't think I would have done that.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice.
Yeah. So Omar could have drawn Thoughtseize next turn, which is one of his best cards here. That is a bit... Oh,
Okay.
well, there you go.
Most talented player in Toronto.
Says, yeah, Omar, ladies and gentlemen, skill format, skill player. Oh, man. Sometimes you get rewarded for intelligent plays.
Yep.
Yep.
So
So it is.
Tyler has the end step Doomblade there.
Downfall, yeah.
Downfall. I keep on calling it Doomblade.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah, it just costs a lot more mana.
Alright, so now Omar could have been Thoughtseizing him here. Said he's going to cast Whip, because Tyler doesn't know this, but Omar has a second Whip, so getting one negated is actually fine.
And Tyler is missing land drops again this game, as in the first.
Yeah.
How many lands does he play?
Let's see. 5, 10, 11, 15, 16, 18, 22, 26 lands.
Okay, so more
He's
than...
not playing Divination. Oh, he's playing 2 Sign of Blood, though. I wonder if he kept that in. I think I definitely would.
Yeah.
It's not like he's getting aggroed out all the time here. So it looks like Omar's ready to cast a Hornet Queen. Leaving a Whip and a Sidisi in hand, so that the next turn he could, on 8 mana, cast Sidisi and Whip.
Yeah, that seems very strong.
Yeah, so that's going to be a tough turn for Tyler to get through. So things are looking good for Omar here, especially if Tyler keeps missing his land drops. Although it looks like Tyler has a Drown in Sorrow. But that's not actually that good here, because if he untaps Drown in Sorrows, then he can't counter either of the spells that Omar plays next turn. So Omar will resolve a Whip and a Sidisi.
Yeah, this Hornet Queen puts him in a very awkward position.
Yeah. Tyler really needs to draw lands here, which he did not. So Drown in Sorrow, but now tapped out, ready for Omar to punish him next turn. So I think actually what I would do is Whip and then whip back the Hornet Queen. That's punishing.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Here we go. Bam. And that is not good for Tyler. So now Tyler's going to need another Drown in Sorrow. And then again, he won't be able to counter the Sidisi that Omar will be able to play later.
Playing very quickly here.
Yeah.
Oh, I think time might have just... Yeah. Time's being called now.
Yeah. So that's time in the round. So Tyler would be turn 0. So Omar's got 3 turns left in order to kill Tyler. Or to convince him to concede.
Yeah.
So let's see. What else has he got in his graveyard? Is that a Sidisi in his graveyard? So Omar really wants to like maximize damage right now. There's no way he can lose the game, so he's just trying to deal damage so that he can win the game.
Yeah, hopefully this Sidisi resolves
Yeah,
for...
so he's casting the Sidisi first because it might give him extra options on what to whip back.
Although if Sidisi... I don't know what else is in Omar's hand. It's possible that he doesn't want to... Well, I guess he kind of has to whip back Sidisi if that's the only large body he's got in his graveyard. If it gets countered.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to deal 18 damage in 3 turns.
So he's about to take 4, go to 14. And Omar will probably have about 2 or maybe even more extra power on the board the next turn. So Tyler's going to need to keep casting spells in order to keep up with Omar's damage. Like, he can present the 18 damage, but it's possible that Tyler can stop that with enough interaction.
So he let
Tyler's definitely playing for the draw here.
Sidisi resolve and then Murderous, or silence the Believers with a trigger on the stack. Okay, and
Oh,
Omar is...
did Disdainful Stroke. I don't like that, but okay. But that doesn't mean that Omar can't whip something this turn, because
mean-
now he doesn't have enough mana.
You mean you don't like that he boarded it in?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that he boarded it in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that great, but here it's very good.
Yeah, it's obviously good in this situation. Maybe he knew he was going to be under time pressure to kill him fast, so Disdainful Stroke becomes a little better, but I'm not sure.
So did he whiff on the attack trigger then with Sidisi?
No, he never attacked. He cast that Sidisi.
Oh, he cast it, right.
Yeah, so he couldn't attack. The upside down Pokemon card is the 2/2. All the up facing ones are 1/1 Hornet Queen tokens. So Tyler really needs Drown in Sorrow right now. Otherwise, he's taking
8
6
plus whatever he whips.
Well, it's easy to 3/3, right? So that's 9.
Oh, yeah.
But if he can kill Sidisi, he'll take 6. 6 plus whatever comes back from the graveyard, so probably Hornet Queen, so he'll probably take 8 and then be dead the next turn. So Tyler really needs to do something here. And that's something almost certainly needs to be Drown in Sorrow. Otherwise, Tyler's going to lose instead of getting a draw. Okay, dig 3 times. So that can hopefully get a Drown in Sorrow for Tyler.
There's a good chance that he only has one more drown in his deck. I doubt that he's playing the full 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't have brought them all in either, but maybe they're a little better than we thought, because they're obviously very good here. Especially if you're playing for the draw, although I'm not sure he took that into account when he sideboarded the third game.
Yeah, I would think that both players would have planned for a quick win going into game 3 because they only had 12 minutes.
Yeah. Tyler's not looking too confident. Did you see what any of those cards are?
No, I do not. Yeah, I can hardly tell what anything is.
Yeah. Look at Omar's cheeky face, cool as a cucumber.
Omar's got a pretty good poker face, though. He normally only looks really upset when he's ahead.
Yeah. He's basically stone faced all the time, emotionless. Just in general in life.
Yeah.
So, what's in Tyler's hand? We know he's got a negate. That's actually all I know about his hand.
I don't know, but
Shuffles through them too fast.
him
So
passing
Kibler.
back here is pretty brutal because it means that the best play he's got is to kill something at instant speed.
Yeah, and hold up a counterspell, if that.
Like, best case scenario is what? He silences the 1/1s to take 4 power off the board this turn?
Silences? You mean Bioblight?
Or Bowblight. Silence the Believers is not instant, or is?
Silence of Believer is an instant, but it only kills 1 thing.
Oh, right, it costs... Oh, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think he wants to be Bioblighting and holding up negate, but even that's not going to be good enough because
Yeah.
Omar's whipping things. So maybe Omar will whip something other than the Hornet Queen in order to play around Bioblight. We'll have to see.
Does he have a big body in there that he can get damage in with this turn?
I don't think so. I think he's basically just got Hornet Queen and Wayfinder. Let's see. I think he's got Courser too, but that's not that great. Omar tapping the Caryatid rather than the Temple. Oh, okay. All right then. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Tap the... Oh, whatever.
At this point, it doesn't matter. He's not losing this game.
I'm trying to think of ways to make fun of Omar. It's not working. He's doing fine.
John Wasson finds you physically attractive, according to Twitch chat.
Is that real, Kina?
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Hard to blame him, naturally.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. So, Tyler looks like he goes down to 3 here if this is to be relied upon, which I think it is.
It's going to be pretty tricky for Tyler not to die on the last turn.
Yeah, because even a Drown in Sorrow is going to leave Sidisi alive. And he obviously doesn't have something to counter Sidisi right, or kill Sidisi right now, or else he would have used it before he got to attack.
Yeah.
So
What is there anything that he can draw to get out of this?
I don't think so. He doesn't have Perilous Vaults. He does have a few Aether Spouts. He has 2 Aether Spouts in his board, though I'm not sure he boarded them in. Oh, it looks,
Oh.
You can see it at the bottom of his library. He's looking at it.
The other spouts
Is he about to Trevor Humphreys that?
I was just about to ask.
So we know he's got at least 1 Aether Spouts in his deck. Probably doesn't have it in hand, otherwise it might have been used, but it's hard to know. He might not have been able to do it. So I guess Tyler's only out. He's got to draw Aether Spouts.
For the draw.
Yeah. And I think he's got to dig through time in hand, so maybe he will be able to get there. Omar doesn't have anything to beat that, right?
How many cards do you suppose are left in Tyler's deck right now? He's probably like he's going to see 8 cards this turn.
Yeah,
So maybe he's like 25% or something.
maybe.
Maybe
The only-
a little bit worse.
The only way Omar could beat an Aether Spouts is with a Thoughtseize.
Probably worse than. Okay, he didn't get there.
Nope. All right. Well, there we go. Omar's the winner of this match.